Screaming infants that won't eat. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about this easy song lesson. It's Last Kiss by, I'm doing the Pearl Jam version of this, just in case you wanted to know. And this one is 113 beats per minute, around there, and it's in the key of G major. And it's one chord progression the entire time, so it's really easy to get into, and it's only 4 chords. And the progression is, let's go over the chords you're gonna need first. And this is the chord progression too, because I'm just gonna do it in order. You need a G major, and it doesn't matter which one you use. You can use this one, different fingering for it, or the 4-finger version. I'm gonna use the 4-finger version just because I like the way it sounds for this. Then an E minor. I'm also gonna use the 4-finger version for that, but you can just a regular 2-finger if you want. And then a C major. I'm gonna use the 4-finger version for that, the C add 9. You can do a regular C if you want. And then a D major. Now, the original version of this song was by J. Frank Wilson and the Cavaliers, and it was in the key of E major. So if you're gonna play along in the key of E major, what I would suggest doing is just doing capo 2 and just playing it as if it were in the key of D major. So same thing. So you have a D major, a B minor, a G shape, and an A shape. So just so you know, if you want to play along with that version of it, that's how I would probably end up doing that to make it as easy as possible. But we're going to stick in the key of G major, Pearl Jam. And the progression, if you want to think about the number system again, which I'm trying to incorporate that into all these easy song lessons just to get you familiar with them, so because it's a really useful tool. The number system for this, if you have the key of G major up, the G is a 1, the E minor would be a 6, the C would be a 4, and the D would be a 5. So this is a 1, 6, 4, 5 progression. So work on those chords by themselves, separate the challenge of strumming and chords so you can get those down, the transitions good to go. And we also have a full jam track for you for this tune, as well as the chord chart. Go to guitarfam.com, and if you haven't signed up for your complimentary Guitar Fam account, do that. You'll get access to a bunch of free courses and the first module of each of our premium courses, which will help you with things like bar chords. And speaking of bar chords, one cool challenge for this song, since it's so repetitive and easy, is to just try and play through this same chord progression with bar chords. So G, E minor, 6, C for the 4, and D for the 5. And if you need help with bar chords, again, one of our premium courses is the Bar Chord Masterclass. So that first module will help you get everything you need down to be able to play bar chords. Okay, there's only one strumming pattern that you need to get through this entire song, and it's the classic down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up. So get your hand going to 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and don't stop that no matter what. Keep that constant strumming going, and you're gonna have down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, that's the only strumming pattern you need. In the counting, there is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. So work on that by itself, separate the challenge of strumming and the chord progression, and then once you've practiced them and they're both feeling pretty smooth, then you can put them together. And the format for this progression, as far as being in time with measures and all that stuff, it's just one measure of each chord. So you have your strumming pattern on a G, and that strumming pattern is one measure, and then an E minor for one measure, and then a C for one measure, one strumming pattern, and then a D for one measure. And that's it. Once you have that strumming pattern and progression down and put together in that format, all you have to do is go through and memorize the format of the song. So it starts off right with the chorus, and for each chorus you play that progression twice. So that's once. Okay. Now, on the next measure, after I play that twice, on the next measure, I hit that G and I stop it. And then there's 2 measures on each chorus. Every time you play chorus, you play the progression twice. Then on the very next measure, after you play the progression twice, you hit that G once. And as soon as you hit it, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, where it's just drums. So it's a fill to get into the next part of the song. So really, you have 8 measures of playing and then 2 measures of a rest before going into what, in this case, after that first chorus, you would go to the first verse. Now the verses for the song use the exact same chord progression, so there's nothing changes here. You just have to memorize how many times you need to play through the progression for each verse, and it is different for each verse. So the first verse is just playing through that chord progression 4 times. So it's ones. Here's number 2. 3. Here comes number 4. And stop on the G again. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Drum fill, another 2 bars of drum fill to go back into the chorus again. And chorus 2 is exactly like chorus 1. Nothing different there. Play through the progression twice. And then 2 measures of rest. Verse 2 is where things change a little bit. Instead of playing through the progression 4 times, you play it through 5 times. And after the 5th time, you stop on that G again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. And then it picks back up into the next chorus. Now, if you want to see a full performance of this song along with the jam track and the chord chart that we have for you, it's at the very end of this video, and you'll get a flow or an idea for the flow from verse to chorus. And after verse 2 that has that progression 5 times and then the 2 measures of rest, you just do another chorus. So again, just twice through the progression, then stop. And then the outro of the song is just playing through the main progression 4 times, and then you end on a G and just let it ring out. So work on memorizing the format and the layout of the song so you know where all those stops are and you know exactly where you are in the song. It's not that big of a deal though, because it's just the same chord progression over and over again. One thing you probably will want to work on is your dynamic. So on the verses, maybe come down and make it a little quieter. Right, and on the choruses, come up a little bit. And one thing you probably noticed there is I was adding some shape to the strumming patterns. And if strumming is one thing that you've been struggling with for a while, you should know that right now I'm videoing a course called The Strumming Doctor, which is just focused completely on strumming and timing. So keep an eye out for that. If you're signed up for your complimentary account on Guitar FM, you'll be notified when that comes out, and it'll really help your strumming. But one thing that I did to make this a little more dynamic and musical as far as the strumming pattern, on the 1, I hit the lower notes, just the lower strings, and on 2 and hit the higher notes. 3, I don't dig into the strings because of our strumming pattern, but on the and of 3, dig into the lower strings, and then 4 and I dig into the higher strings. And what that does is that gives us kind of a kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, snare, kind of dynamic strumming pattern that sounds like a drum kit is playing with this. Instead of just this. You see how that gives it a little bit more shape? So that's something you might want to work on too as well. But if you can play through this simple 4 chord progression and put that easy strumming pattern with it, you should be able to get to this song no problem. Okay, that's really it for this one. Let us know what other easy songs you would like to see. Don't forget to go to the Guitar Fam site and download the full jam track and the chord chart that we have for this. And if you need help getting through any of the basics, you know, open chords, strumming, bar chords, go through that Guitar Foundations course or the first module of the Barre Chord Masterclass or any of the other premium courses we have on the site, and those will help you out a lot. You can even schedule a personal private one-on-one lesson with me. The first one is complimentary. Let us know what you think and if you have any questions as you go through the song. See you later. Here is the full performance.
Baby be, the Lord took her away from me. she's gone to heaven, so I got to be good, so I can see my baby when I leave this world. We were out on a date in my daddy's car. We hadn't driven very far. There in the road, straight ahead, a car was stalled. The engine was dead. I couldn't stop, so I swerved to the right.